With the coach and then the coordinators, we'll try to keep these about 15 minutes each so everybody can get over to the stadium. For the players.
How's everybody today? Good. Great. I think I've spoke about this before, but I do really like the, sort of acclimation program that we have right now to go 2 days in just shorts and helmets and then put shoulder pads on for a couple days. And I really think, especially in our circumstance here, this is the best way to do it in terms of player safety and, in the best interest of the players. And, we had a good practice Saturday, yesterday, for the first time that the players had shoulder pads on. And obviously you can do a little bit more fundamental teaching when the players do have pads on relative to block protection, blocking techniques, even to form tackle or to teach those types of things, but also things like hand placement. So it helps our teaching that we have the shoulder pads on, but I think it's really helpful to the players not to have to go out there sort of cold turkey and just try to deal with the circumstances in full pads. And I was really pleased with the way our players handled that, worked through it yesterday in some difficult circumstances, and I think we improved and made some progress. We've tried to have a program here that I would say is of substance. It's about making good choices and decisions about what you do and what you don't do. Every choice that you make has a consequence. That consequence can be positive or it could be negative if you make poor choices. And I think we've made progress in the program because our players have made better choices and done things not only on the field but off the field to help themselves be more successful and give themselves a chance to be more successful. And I think that all comes from how you think, because how you think affects what you do. It has a tremendous effect and impact on the result that you get. And there are endless temptations there for everyone every day to get yourself in a bad situation. And I think it takes a lot of discipline, self-discipline on the player's part to continue to make good choices and decisions so that we can improve as a team and they can improve on their personal chances to be successful as people. And you got to challenge yourself every day. And I think that especially in times like these, that each one of our players have to challenge themselves to win each day. And when I say win each day, I'm talking about handle the circumstances, have enough mental toughness to, whether it's deal with the heat, the focus necessary to pay attention to detail, to go out and get something out of every repetition, every opportunity that they have. It's so easy at this time when you're practicing every day, when you get into sort of, camp, to endure the practice and not really focus on what you need to do to improve every time you get an opportunity, but just try to get through it. Just get through it. Let me get my 4 reps and get a drink of water and, sort of endure the practice. And, that's what we want to challenge our players to do, is to win every day. And that winning every day right now is everybody making personal improvement, everybody making individual improvement that's going to help us continue to get better as a team. And, we've got a very young team. We probably don't have, maybe 10, 12 guys that have been here for more than 3 years out of high school on our entire team. And that doesn't mean that they're not capable of doing it, but it does challenge their maturity to be able to make the right decisions and do the right things in circumstances like these. And I think this is a good time for them to sort of mature into what they're going to have to do to be the kind of relentless competitors they're going to need to be with the competition in our league. We only have really one, I think, issue. Kendall Kelly is probably going to be out for several days. He had actually was in the first practice at night, some sort of, heat issues, whatever, a little dizziness. And until we sort of make sure we can identify what the issue is, we're probably not going to let him practice again for a while. And so that's one that you don't need to be asking me about on a daily basis. He's here. He's allowed to get medical attention. He just can't go to practice and meetings. So that's and he's not in the hospital or anything. We just want to monitor him for right now.
Coach, two questions. First, about your coaching staff. You had very little turnover in the offseason, only one job to fill, and even that was an inside hire. What does that continuity do for the program?
Well, I think that I always talk about this. There's really two sides of this. I think continuity is important in terms of having a good program. It helps the players, and I think the players probably feel a comfort zone when they're with the same people. They know what to expect. But also, when you have new people come into the program, you get new sort of energy and enthusiasm and ideas. So, you know, and Jeremy Pruitt is the one addition to our staff who's done a very good job in the player development area for several years. And I like to be able to promote people in the organization because they kind of understand what the program's all about, what we're trying to get done here, how we're trying to do it. So, you know, sometimes when you bring people in from outside, they're a little slow to buy in when they have a different way of doing things. So this has worked out extremely well for us, and we feel really good about the staff we have and the continuity that we have, and we're excited about, you know, trying to help. The coaches are here to help the players, and we want to coach the players for the next play so that they have an opportunity to improve. And I think our coaching staff does a very good job of that, and we're glad to have all but one back from last year. And that particular person who left had an opportunity professionally to better himself, and I think it was a really good opportunity for him, and I think he's ready for it, and we hope and wish him well.
And secondly, I wanted to ask you about your off season after winning a national championship at LSU. What about that experience, if anything, did anything to shape the way you've approached this offseason with this team?
Well, you know, I can't really remember the offseason after that. You know, I must not, my mind does not work that way. I can't remember what happened 5 years ago. You know, I have a tough time. You know, in this business, you sort of, you know, you're kind of in a routine of what you do on a yearly basis as well as a daily basis. You know, there's a time that you recruit. There's a time that you just can make phone calls. You know, there's a time that you coach and teach. There's a time when you're not allowed to be around your players. There's a time when you really try to motivate, counsel, and influence people to do the right thing. So there's all these things going on a yearly basis, and you know, that routine probably helps me stay focused on what we need to do to continue to be successful, and that's kind of what I think about. And I think I was probably a little bit more guarded this year relative to things that I allowed myself to do. In other words, I remember after the 2000, I do remember this, that I was totally almost burnt out in the off season by all the things that I did, whether it was speaking or whatever it was, and because of the demand and the request. But this year, even though the demand and the request were there, I sort of said, look, I'm standing pat. This is the hand. This is how many times I speak. This is how many Crimson Caravans I do, and that's not changing. And we're not going beyond that. And we're going to do what we need to do so we can stay focused on what happens the next time.